Have tourist taxes tripled? Hotels are on strike. There's a new travel advisory and a triple threat in the Atlantic. You don't know Malta like this. Stay tuned to get the details on these stories and more, bringing you the top travel headlines from around the world now. But first, welcome to BT Travel News. I'm Kathleen, and this is your World Travel Information Channel, giving you the information to help you make informed decisions so your adventures are the safest and best they can be. We also share insights into new and innovative ways to travel around the world. Now, on to the first headline. New Zealand's breathtaking lakes, majestic mountains, scenic bike trails, and renowned wineries will soon come with a higher price tag. Starting October 1st of this year, the International Visitor Conservation and Tourism Levy, or IVL, will increase from 35 New Zealand dollars, which is about 22 US dollars, to 100 New Zealand dollars, which is about 62 US dollars. Quote, international tourism also comes with costs to local communities, including additional pressure on regional infrastructure and higher upkeep and maintenance costs across our conservation estate, unquote, stated Matt Ducey, New Zealand's Minister for Hospitality and Tourism. Introduced in 2019, the IVL is designed to support environmental protection across New Zealand. Between March 2023 and March 2024, international tourists contributed over $11 billion to the economy. However, this price increase has sparked some controversy. Tourism industry Aotearoa, which is TIA, representing a collective of travel professionals, expressed concerns over the levy hike. Quote, New Zealand's tourism recovery is falling behind the rest of the world, and this will further dent our global competitiveness, unquote, Tia remarked, highlighting the risk of losing travelers to destinations like Canada, the UK, where travel fees are more favorable and flights more accessible. Eligible citizens from 60 countries, including US, Canada, Singapore, Japan, and Mexico, can enjoy a visa waiver, allowing up to 3 months of travel in New Zealand. However, an e-visa and payment of the IVL are still required. With the updated fees, Immigration New Zealand advises holiday visitors to apply for visas by October the 15th for Christmas travel, and by November the 15th for Lunar New Year's trip. Be it called IVL, access fees, or travel incentives are seen as necessary measures to manage over-tourism, congestion, and environmental impacts. Future adopters of similar fees may include destinations like Edinburgh, Scotland, and Zermatt, Switzerland. And despite a rise in such fees, a study from Bangor University in Wales finds, quote, there is little evidence of tourists being put off from visiting, unquote, destinations with these sorts of charges. Let me know if that is something that would deter you from visiting any of these destinations. Please put a comment below. Headline 2, as of yesterday, thousands of hotel workers nationwide have stepped off the job, seeking better wages, improved workloads, and a reversal of pandemic-era cutbacks. These striking workers include housekeepers and various staff, represented by Unite Here Union. They have left their posts at 25 luxurious hotels across 9 iconic cities, from Baltimore to Honolulu, Boston to San Francisco, and more. Esteemed chains like Hilton, Hyatt, and Marriott are among those affected. Quote, 10,000 hotel workers across the U.S. are on strike because the hotel industry has gotten off track, unquote, declared Gwen Mills, the international president of Unite Here. Quote, during COVID, everyone suffered, but now the hotel industry is making record profits while workers and guests are left behind. Too many hotels still haven't restored standard services that guests deserve, like automatic daily housekeeping and room service. We won't accept a new normal where hotel companies profit by cutting their offerings to guests and abandoning their commitments to workers, unquote. Strikes in each city are anticipated to last up to 3 days, with the union also authorizing additional walkouts in New Haven, Oakland, and Providence. While these hotels will remain open, Unite Here cautions prospective guests that picket lines may persist around the clock. Hyatt's head of labor relations for the Americas, Michael D'Angelo, reassured travelers with the message that, quote, contingency plans are in place to minimize impact on hotel operations related to our strike activity, unquote. He also added, our colleagues are in the heart of our business, and Hyatt has a long history of cooperation with the unions that represent our employees, including Unite Here. We are disappointed that Unite Here has chosen to strike while Hyatt remains willing to continue bargaining in good faith. Now, a Hilton spokesman echoed a similar sentiment, emphasizing the brand's dedication to fruitful negotiations. Quote, we remain committed to negotiating in good faith to reach fair and reasonable agreements that are beneficial to both our valued team members and to our hotels, unquote. Marriott, meanwhile, has yet to respond to requests for comment. And today, amid chants of make them pay, thousands of hotel workers continued their strike on following unsuccessful contract negotiations between Unite Here union and some of the nation's premier hotel brands. Despite their pivotal roles, many workers claim they can't afford to live in the luxurious cities they help guests explore, though hotels maintain otherwise. The pandemic heavily impacted the hotel industry, leading to cuts in staff and guest services in housekeeping and room service. While guests' occupancy has rebounded, the union asserts that staffing levels have not kept pace. Quote, since COVID, the hotels have rebounded, but wages have not caught up, unquote, noted Gwen Mills, international president of Unite Here to USA Today. Now, Michael D'Angelo, head of labor relations in Americas at Hyatt, responded to the strike by emphasizing, quote, we have a history of offering competitive wages and benefits in each market, including comprehensive health care at little to no cost, as well as retirement savings or benefits at the hotels that are on strike at this time. And colleague benefits and wages remain unchanged as we negotiate a new agreement, unquote. The current strikes are slated to last up to 3 more days, concluding Tuesday, but more strikes could follow if negotiations remain unresolved. For travelers, both Hilton and Hyatt have contingency plans in place to ensure smooth operations. Unite Here has directed guests to fairhotel.org for a list of hotels unaffected by the strike. On to headline 3. Due to terrorism today, the U.S. Department of State has moved the U.K. from level 1 to level 2 in the U.K., which is exercise increased caution. This was their explanation. Terrorist group continue plotting possible attacks in the U.K. Terrorists can strike suddenly and often target tourist spots and transportation hubs. Markets, shopping malls, local government buildings, hotels, clubs, restaurants, places of worship, and parks may be targeted. Major events, schools, and airports can also be attacked. There is also a risk of isolated violence by dissident groups in Northern Ireland, focused primarily on police and military targets. These are their recommendations if you decide to or are already traveling to these areas. Beware of your surroundings when in tourist locations and crowded public venues. Follow instructions of local authorities. Check local media for breaking events and adjust your plans based on new information. Enroll in Smart Travel Enrollment Program, or STEP, to receive alerts and make it easier to locate you in emergency. And prepare a contingency plan for emergency situations. You can also review a traveler's checklist. Any and all of this information, you will find a link below that I have put for the Department of State for your access. On to headline 4. The National Hurricane Center is tracking 3 storms. As of now, all 3 are less than 40% chance of cyclone formation. The storm in the Caribbean Sea is listed as a tropical wave and producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms over Hispaniola and portions of the central Caribbean Sea. As the system moves westward, some development is possible when it reaches the western Caribbean Sea and the southwestern Gulf of Mexico late this week or over the weekend. The storm in the far eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean is producing disorganized shower activity as well. During the next few days, it will slowly move west-northwestward or northwestward over the eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean. This system could produce locally heavy rains and gusty winds across portions of the Cabo Verde Islands in a day or two. And the third storm in the tropical is in the central tropical Atlantic Ocean, located about midway between the west coast of Africa and the Lesser Antilles, and is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Its slow development is possible during the next couple of days while the system moves west-northwestward. By the end of the week, however, environmental conditions are expected not to develop any further. Good news for those heading out into the cruise travel world. And headline 5, it may be too late for this year, but you're in luck. What I'm going to share with you will be there next year too. This deep dive into Malta's cultural arts is probably going to have you pouting your lips and saying, why didn't I visit in the fall? This quaint little island, along with its sister, Gozo, sits south of Sicily. It harbors secrets of Festive. On the first Saturday in October, the Valetta cityscape lights up with a dazzling celebration of the arts, open to the public and free of charge. Local museums, piazzas, state palaces, and churches transform their properties into venues to hold live performances and concerts, while other restaurants and cafes extend their hours to serve the festival celebrants. Held over the second week in October, Birgu Fest, also known as Vittoriosa, is an annual event spanning 2 days. Birgu by candlelight solely illuminates the streets with candles. This unique atmosphere is enhanced by professional musicians, with churches open for concerts, museums and historical sites offering discounted entry, and local groups providing traditional foods. This event also includes exhibitions, a short film festival, and an artisan market. I can't imagine a more magical and authentic experience in this area of the world. This year, the Three Palaces Festival, held from October 30th to November 3rd and organized by Festivals Malta, celebrates their 700th anniversary of Marco Polo and will feature Antonio Vivaldi's The Four Seasons. This festival highlights Malta's heritage by hosting performances in historic venues like Grand Master's Palace and St. John's Co-Cathedral, and will offer educational activities. From November 8th to the 9th, this will be performed at Teatro Manuel, Europe's oldest and functioning theater, which has been a significant cultural venue in Malta since 1731. Gozo, too, is hosting a plethora of music festivals, including operas, on the Astra Teatre, showcasing Giuseppe Verdi's Giovanna d'Arco, while the Aurora Theater will stage Giacomo Puccini's Il Trittico. Gozo also boasts of the Liquid Spirit Gozo, which is a boutique dance music festival. On All Saints' Day, churches across Gozo celebrate their saints and villages with stunning candlelight displays. All Saints' Day, known also as il-Qaddisin in Maltese, is on November the 1st this year and is dedicated to commemorating all the saints who have lived holy and virtuous lives. Rounding out the opening of the festive season in Gozo and Malta is Rock Astra, performed by La Stella Philharmonic Band for the second year in a row, featuring repertoire of chart-topping glam rock pieces. All of these cultural, festive, and awe-inspiring celebrations can be combined into an adventure of dreamlike musical and artistic itineraries fit for the most discerning or even novice cultural enthusiasts. Look no further than your trusted travel advisor or reach out to ours, There's a link below for your use. Well, that's it this time, adventurers. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, turn on that notification bell to stay in the loop of what's happening in the world of travel. Ta-ta for now. Wishing you safe travels and great adventures ahead.